Jonathan Steele. £146 for Steele, 146. And coming up to the scale, his opponent, coming to us from Zodigdi, Georgia. He is also unbeaten, 4 victories, no losses, 2 KOs, Enrico Gogosia. £146.5 for Gogosia, 146.5. Once again, our opening bout tomorrow will be scheduled for 6 rounds, welterweights. Jonathan Steele weighed in at 146 pounds even, and his opponent, Enrico Gogosia, 146.5. 6 rounds, welterweights. Our next bout will be scheduled for 6 rounds featuring middleweights. So please welcome as they make their way up to the stage, Alex Duarte and Bakram Mortaziev. This middleweight bout, scheduled for 6 rounds, they are both undefeated. So we should be looking for a great fight with these two tomorrow. On the scale, undefeated, 6 victories, 4 wins by knockout. Coming to us from Sao Paulo, Brazil, here is Alex Sandro Duarte. £159 for Duarte, 159. And getting ready to come up to the scales, his opponent, also undefeated, 8 victories, no losses, 6 wins by knockout. From Grozny, Russia, here is Bakram Mortaziev. £159.5, 159.5. As they get ready to face off, once again, they are scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division, both undefeated fighters. Alex Duarte weighed in at an even 159 pounds. Bakram Mortaziev, 159.5. A battle of 2 undefeated fighters. Next to the scales, we'd like to bring up junior welterweights, Brandon Sanudo and John Bausa. And while our fighters are getting ready, we'd just like to remind everybody the first bout tomorrow is scheduled with the bell ringing at 2:30. So lots of action all day tomorrow. First bout at 2:30. All right, coming up to the scale first, fighting out of San Felipe, Mexico, 5 victories, 4 defeats, 2 wins by knockout. Here is Brandon Bam Sanudo. Brandon Sanudo on the scale. £144 for Sanudo, 144. Now we'll bring up his opponent. He is unbeaten as a professional, 6 victories, 3 wins by knockout. For North Bergen, New Jersey, here is John Bausa. £143, 143 for Bausa. These junior welterweights are scheduled for 4 rounds tomorrow. Brandon Sanudo, 144 pounds. John Bausa, 143. There they are, Bausa and Sanudo, junior welterweights. Next to the scales, we need Christopher Martin and Tremaine Williams. All right, as we get ready for our next fighter to come up to the scales, he and his opponent are scheduled for 8 rounds. They're in the junior featherweight division. First, up to the scales, a record of 30 victories, 8 defeats, 3 draws. He has 10 wins by knockout, and he comes to us from San Diego, California. Please welcome the SD Kid, Christopher Martin. $125 3/4 for Martin. 125 3/4. His opponent will be making his way up to the scales now. He is unbeaten as a professional. 10 victories, 3 wins by knockout. Coming to us from New Haven, Connecticut, here is the mighty midget, Tremaine Williams. 124.5 pounds for Williams, 124.5. Once again, these two fighters are scheduled for 8 rounds. The junior featherweights, Christopher Martin at 125 3/4. Tremaine Williams, 124 1/2. Next to the scales, please, we need Fabiano Pena and Von Alexander. Come. And getting ready to come up to the scales. He'll be fighting in an 8-round middleweight bout. Coming to us from Chiapas, Mexico. 16 victories, 7 defeats, 1 draw, with 13 of his 16 wins by knockout. Here is Fabiano, the Pitbull Pena. 166 pounds for Pena. And we'd like to bring up his opponent, undefeated with 9 victories, 6 wins by knockout. From St. Louis, Missouri, here is Von Alexander. £161 for Alexander, 161. Just about ready for our middleweights to come up and pose. 8 rounds scheduled in their bout. Fabiano Pena against Von Alexander. Our next fighters we'd like to bring up to the scales are scheduled in a 6-round super middleweight bout. Please welcome Sultan Sarah and Junior Yunin. Ten bouts are scheduled on the fight card tomorrow. The action begins approximately 2:30, so we hope to see you out here early for some great undercard bouts. And ready to come up to the scales. 28 victories, 12 defeats, 19 wins by knockout. He comes to us from Budapest, Hungary. Here is Sultan Sarah. £170.5 pounds for Sarah, 170.5. His opponent, also undefeated, one of the undefeated fighters on this card. 11 victories, 8 of his 11 wins by knockout. From Brooklyn, New York, here is Junior, the young god, Yunin. Yunin weighed in the same as his opponent, 170.5 pounds. Both fighters 170.5. 6-round super middleweights battling tomorrow here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. And here they are, ready to pose off. Super middleweights, Sultan Sarah, 170.5 pounds. His opponent, Junior Yunin, also at 170.5. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our weigh-ins for the undercard. Coming up shortly, we'll have our next 4 bouts that will have the fighters coming up to be weighed in. And, of course, featuring our main event fighters, Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. That'll be coming up shortly.
What's the move? Can I tell the truth? If I was doing this for you, then I have nothing left to prove. Nah, this for me though. I'm just trying to stay alive and take care of my people. And they don't have no award for that. Trophies. And they don't have no award for that. Don't come with trophies, ain't no envelopes to open. I just do it cause I'm supposed to.
I go to dreams with a suitcase. I got my whole country on a new way. She like, I heard all your stay where you stay. House so big, I haven't seen them boys in 2 days. I use a walkie-talkie just to get a beverage. I saw my parents split up right after the wedding. They told my ass to stay committed, f***ing credit. Check the numbers, I'm the one who really get it. I told y'all motherfuckers, man, this not a love song. This a doing me and only God can judge song. I do not know what the f*** you thought it was song. Pop some champagne in a tub song. Just because song.
What's the move? Can I tell the truth? If I was doing this for you, then I have nothing left to prove. Nah, this for me though. I'm just trying to stay alive and take care of my people. And they don't have no award for that. Trophies, trophies. And they don't have no award for that. Don't come with trophies, ain't no envelopes to open. I just do it cause I'm supposed to. They just spent like 2 or 3 weeks out the country. Them boys up to something, they just not just bluffing. You don't have to call, I hit my dance like Usher. Ooh, I just found my tempo like on DJ Mustard. Ooh, I hit that Ginobili with my left hand, though, like woo. Lobster and saline for all my babies that I miss. Chicken finger, french fry for them. I wanna dish. Jumpin', them boys up to something. I think I need some Robitussin. Way too many questions, you must think I trust you. You searching for answers, I do not know nothing. Woo! I see him tweaking, they know something's coming. Woo! Jumpin', them boys up to something. Woo! Jumpin', what you expecting? Woo! Shout out, Michael Jordan just said text me. Woo!
Jumpin'. I just seen the jet take out, they up to something. Them boys just not bluffing, Jumpin', them boys up to something. She was trying to join the team, I told her wait. Chicken wings and fries, we don't go on dates. No boo. I just throw the private dinner in LA. Trapping is a hobby, that's the way for me. Money coming fast, we never getting straight. I just had to buy another set. Bentley Spurs and Phantom Jordan fade away.
Yeah, jumpin', I don't need no introduction. Jumpin', Metro boomin' on production. Wow, 100 cousins out in Memphis, they so country. Wow, tell her stay the night, I lay your coffee.
In this club with you,
Welcome to the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the weigh-in for Andre Ward against Sergey Kovalev, the rematch for the Light Heavyweight World Championship right here at Mandalay Bay Event Center tomorrow night and on HBO pay-per-view beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 p.m. Pacific. We will have Andre and Sergey right here on this scale very shortly, and we will talk to them afterwards. But we also have 3 great undercard fights to weigh in, and to take us through all of that, I leave you in the very capable and experienced hands and the soft and dulcet tones of the one and only Mr. Michael Buffer.
Thank you, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. As you all know, tomorrow night, a great night of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment here at the Mandalay Bay. And it's all brought to you by Rock Nation Sports, Main Events, Andre Ward Promotions, and Crusher Promotions. And we'll get things started right now with our first contest that will be seen live on HBO pay-per-view, the first of 4 pay-per-view fights culminating with the main event. So let's welcome up to the stage at this time, Cedric Agnew and Dimitri Bivol. This contest will be for 10 rounds of boxing in the light heavyweight division. First up onto the scales when he gets onto the stage, his professional record stands at 29 victories, 15 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats in his career. From Chicago Heights, South Chicago Heights, Illinois, he's the former USBA light heavyweight champion, Cedric Agnew. Cedric Agnew stepping on the scales, 29 victories, 15 wins by knockout. £175 for Cedric Agnew, former USBA light heavyweight champion. Next up onto the scales from St. Petersburg, Russia, a perfect professional record consisting of 10 fights, 10 victories, 8 wins by knockout. Please welcome Dimitri Bivol. 174.5 for the undefeated Dimitri Bivol. This will be the first bout that you'll see live on HBO pay-per-view. And for the fans here that come to the arena tomorrow night, a great card of boxing, and it all starts a lot earlier than 6 o'clock, so be here. Once again, this contest, Dimitri Bivol, undefeated 10-0 with 8 KOs. And from South Chicago Heights, Cedric Agnew, 29 victories with 15 knockouts, only 2 defeats in his career. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the first World Championship fight we have tomorrow night. A very special contest indeed. This will be 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA IBO Super Bantamweight Championship of the world. 2 undefeated champions. Somebody's has got to go. First up onto the stage and the scales from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. 25 fights, 25 victories, 17 wins by knockout. He is the reigning and defending undefeated WBA IBO Super Bantamweight World Champion, Moises Chucky Flores. Coming up to the stage and the scales now at this time, his opponent, originally from Cuba, now living, training, and fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA, rated as one of the best fighters in the world today, Olympic gold medal champion. As a professional, a perfect record, 17 fights, 17 victories, 11 wins by knockout. He is recognized as the super title holder with the WBA, the reigning and defending undefeated super bantamweight champion of the world, Guillermo El Chacal Rigando. Stepping onto the scales now, Chucky Flores. Two undefeated champions facing off. 122 pounds for the WBA IBO Super Bantamweight World Champion, Moises Chucky Flores. Now stepping onto the scales, rated as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. 17 victories without a loss. 17 fights, 17 victories, 11 wins by KO. $121.5 for the Super Bantamweight World Champion, the super titleist of the WBA, Guillermo El Chacal Rigando. Here they are face to face, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, somebody's O has got to go right here at the Mandalay Bay, live on HBO pay-per-view as two world champions face each other for the Super Bantamweight Championship of the world. Chucky Flores, El Chacal, Guillermo Rigando. Well, we rolled through those two weigh-ins rather quickly. We've got about 5 minutes to go before we have the official weigh-in for the main event tomorrow night. Once again, let me remind you the records of the two fighters. As you all know, it's the rematch. Number 2. This will be for all the marbles and what is really considered by most fight fans as the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Once again, the gentleman from Chelyabinsk, Russia, his record, 33 fights, 30 victories, 26 wins by knockout, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Sergey Crusher Kovalev. And of course his opponent, the Olympic gold medalist who now has a perfect record of 31 fights, 31 victories, 15 KOs to his credit. He comes to us from the city that currently has the current NBA World Champion Golden State Warriors. Any Warriors fans here? Cavs did a great job though, but they couldn't go all the way like last year. A great series. Oakland, California. Two-time world champion, reigning and defending, undefeated light heavyweight world champion, Andre S.O.G. Ward. Just a few minutes to go for the main event weigh-in.
Lego. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, we knuckin' and buckin' and ready to fight. I got my cousin, he with me, and got Lizzie on the right. And I'm a Detroit baby.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, it's time for the official weigh-in for tomorrow night's main event. And it's all brought to you by Rock Nation Sports, Main Events Promotions, Andre Ward Promotions, and Crusher Promotions, with sponsorships supplied by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, Monster Products, the global leader in premium headphones and speakers, powered by Monster. Jetlux, fly the way you fly. Choose Jetlux. Life 10 Electrolyte, Energize, Hydrate, Restore Life. Zappos, powered by Service, Douce Cognac, ProSups, results period from ProSups, and Jordan Brand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the fighters to the stage for this 12-round light heavyweight world championship contest. First up, onto the stage, and he'll be first on the scales. His record now stands at 30 victories, 26 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat, and he's looking for revenge with 1 draw. From Chelyabinsk, Russia, Damig Asbada, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey Kovalev. And next up to the stage, he'll be weighing in second, an Olympic gold medal champion, now with a perfect professional record consisting of 31 fights, 31 victories, 15 wins by knockout. From the City of Champions, Oakland, California, USA, a 2-time world champion, the reigning, defending, undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, Andre S.O.G. Ward. Nevada State Athletic Commission Executive Director, Mr. Bob Bennett, will conduct the official weigh-in at the scales. First onto the scales, the challenger, the former world champion, Sergey Kovalev. "31 victories, 15 KOs, only 1 defeat with 1 draw. Former world champion. The Crusher weighs in at 175 pounds. 175, Sergey Crusher Kovalev. Now stepping onto the scales, 31 fights, 31 victories, 15 KOs. The reigning and defending world champion, Andre S.O.G. Ward. 175 pounds for the reigning and defending light heavyweight world champion, Andre Ward. Here they are, challenger and champion, the rematch the world has been waiting for. Crusher Kovalev, Andre S.O.G. Ward for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? It all goes down tomorrow night here at the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas. the two best light heavyweights in the world for the title tomorrow night. HBO pay-per-view live at the Mandalay Bay.
All right, Sergey, we did a little survey earlier. I'm pretty sure these guys want you to win. That's right. We got Chucky Kovalev fans. What about you guys over there? Yeah, maybe not so much. Sergey, you seem in a better mood than you were yesterday. You walked out of the press conference yesterday. Why was that?
I don't want to spend my energy to listen in this shit what they saying to my side, you know, like said enough, like just wait tomorrow.
So one of the things that they have said, what Virgil Hunter said, is that he has trained Andre Ward to knock you out.
Wow, really? Okay. We'll see. But who is the Virgil Hunter?
You've trained differently for this fight. You've worked with a biathlon trainer. How has that helped your preparation for this fight?
Biathlon coach. I had a training camp with biathlon coach. It means that I will be each minute of each round shooting 200 watt.
You mentioned that for 4 rounds in the last fight, we saw the Crusher, and then we didn't. Are we going to see the Crusher for 12 rounds on Saturday?
Yes, tomorrow you will see Crusher in the ring against Andre, son of Judge's Ward.
Any final words for your fans right here in the arena or watching us right now?
Thank you very much for your support. Kick his ass together!
Sergey Chucky Kovalev. Joined now by the light heavyweight champion of the world, Andre SOG Ward. Andre, it looked like you had a few words there for Sergey at the face-off. Is there anything that you want to share with us that you said to him?
As long as he understood me, that's all that matters.
You clearly were coming on strong. You won the second half of that first fight. Do you regard the first round on Saturday as round 13 of that last fight?
Absolutely. You know, it's my job to pick up where we left off, and I'm glad he had a perfect camp. I'm glad he brought in a triathlon coach. I'm glad he got all that. Everybody heard everything he said. So at the end of tomorrow night, we don't want to hear no excuses.
Do you expect, given the success you had over the second half of the fight, to really be following the same fight plan? Are we going to see some new wrinkles? Are we going to see anything new from Andre Ward?
Yeah, it's always new wrinkles. You know, we didn't make no major changes in this training camp. You know, we've been doing things the same way for over 20 years. And, you know, that we always going to tweak stuff because that's what we do. We go back to the drawing board, but there's no need to change anything. What we did the first time worked. We just got to, you know, make some adjustments.
It's been a tough build-up. It's been, you guys have been at each other. You don't really like each other very much. When you hear him say that he doesn't just want to win, he wants to hurt you, he wants to end your career, what do you think?
The only problem with that is when he says something like that, you know, he's bringing my family into it because you trying to allude to the fact that I'm not going to make it home to my family. So when you do that, man, you got big problems. It's not going to happen. So he put it out there, so now you got to back it up.
All right, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked to Sergey. Any final words for your fans here in the arena or watching at home?
Man, I just appreciate all my fans. I love you. Let them know we in the building tomorrow night, baby. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it.
That is the light heavyweight champion of the world, Andre SOG Ward. Michael, back to you.
All right, thank you. Great job. We're all looking forward to a great, great main event tomorrow night. But right now, let's bring up another one of our contests that will be seen live on HBO pay-per-view as part of the 4-fight package on pay-per-view. This will be 10 rounds of boxing for the USBA Middleweight Championship. Let's bring up to the stage first, 18 victories as a professional, only 1 defeat, 11 wins by knockout. Originally from Kizia Rosa, now living, fighting, and training out of Los Angeles, California. Former NABO middleweight champion, Arif the Predator Magomedov. And Arif's opponent, undefeated at 17-0 with 8 KOs. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA, he's the reigning and defending undefeated USBA middleweight champion, Luis Cuba Arias. First up onto the scales. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, originally from Russia, former NABO middleweight champion, Arif the Predator Magomedov. $159 3/4 for Andre Magomedov. That's Arif. Excuse me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stepping onto the scales, undefeated as a professional, 17-0, 8 wins by knockout. Undefeated as a pro, the current USBA middleweight champion, Luis Cuba Arias. $160, 160 pounds for the champ. 10 rounds of boxing for the USBA Middleweight Championship. Here they are face to face, ladies and gentlemen, for the USBA middleweight title. It's all tomorrow night on HBO pay-per-view live here at the Mandalay Bay. Arif Magomedov challenging Luis Cuba Arias.
All right, thanks very much. That'll do it here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Remember to tune in tomorrow night on HBO pay-per-view starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Andre Ward against Sergey Kovalev, the rematch, and 3 undercard bouts. You will absolutely not want to miss this. For Michael Buffer, I'm Kira Mulvaney. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night on HBO pay-per-view.
Doing together, we can't do again. Straight up. Brooklyn with the combo, how I put in pain. Ooh, I'm back for another one. Ooh, I like the way you wind it. Ooh, I hate when we distant. Ooh, she want a Michael, she don't do Jermaine's. Prince with the 100s, yeah, purple rain. Roll me up or backward, I can't do no planes. When I take